away. You know we can get away. 2 clap. Let's get it, baby. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Late Night Show with your host, Dr. Kojo. I know I'm smiling so hard today. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a really good mood, guys. I feel great. I look great. And this live stream is going to be great. It's going to be amazing. I am a little late. And when I say a little, I mean an hour. But it happens. My streak of showing up on time is over. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to be talking about 4 ways that AuDHD can turn into agoraphobia. A very interesting topic. I don't think we've talked a lot about agoraphobia on this platform. I've made videos about it over the years. I've covered every mental health condition at least once. But it's been a while since we've talked about it. So we're going to be talking about 4 ways that AuDHD can turn into agoraphobia. All right. We have Leilani, our moderator, checking in from New York City. All right. I want you all to go ahead and use the comment section to let me know where you all are watching this stream from. I was about to say streaming. Where you all are checking in from, okay? Uncle's doing all right. Uncle doing okay. Uncle's blessed. Uncle's blessed. Manda, I'm happy that you are able to cash this live stream because we got to talk about it. A lot of people deal with agoraphobia. And it's ironic that we're talking about agoraphobia. And in the title, at least on Facebook and on YouTube, the title says 4 ways AuDHD can turn to agoraphobia. And then I say, come see me live in Nashville. I'm asking y'all to leave the house when some of y'all are anxious to leave the house. But we have a great comedy show lineup for y'all in Nashville, Tennessee, May 31st at the Zany's Lab. Show number 1 is sold out, so we added a second show. So in 2 weeks, I'll see y'all in Nashville. We're going to laugh and have a great time. After that, we're going to New York City. Then we're going to Chicago. 7 Salman says, yes, I kind of hate going anywhere or I get anxiety if I think about it too long. Okay, we're going to dive deep into that. Leilani, I'm not blurry. I see myself pretty well. Actually, the live stream is blurry on. I'm watching it here. My phone is blurry. Can anybody help me out with this? What should I do? I'm streaming live on StreamYard. I need the community to help me out here. Move from Maryland to Chicago. Okay. Estonia living in Australia. Chicago here. Louita from Texas. Good to see you. Kansas City. Blurry here too. Okay. All right. So why are we blurry? We're blurry on TikTok. Blurry. We need to fix this because I want. So, all right. The way that I'm like streaming, like my screen, I look good, but when I look on my phone on TikTok, it's blurry. What blurry? StreamYard. No, fix this. The live stream is an unstable internet connection. Oh, that probably is what it is. Let me get off of Wi-Fi. Looking a little low. Check your internet connection. Check the 3 dots in the right-hand corner. Yeah, we're all right. Okay. No need to fix it. No, it's just way too blurry right here. Oh, Mickey Ficky. All right, well, we're only 4 minutes into the live stream. Y'all give me a second, unfortunately. I'm going to go restart my internet, and we'll come right back, all right? Or is it improving slowly? Did it improve? Looks better now? You have too many things running on your internet. I think so, too. I just took off the I'm going to get this phone off of internet. Too many things are running on this internet. Much better. Okay, looks like we're doing better. All right, we're doing better now. All right. Oh, look at this internet. Vicky. I have you on YouTube and it's blurry. If it's blurry on YouTube, I hate for y'all to have to go to a different platform because I gotta come to y'all. Whatever platform is your preferred platform. But actually, look, YouTube is clear. I think we're good on YouTube. We're going on YouTube. Okay, I fixed it. Crisis averted. And Jessica, you're right. There are too many tabs open. I have at least 16 on this window, 8 more here. I have at least 24 tabs open. So yeah, I got to get that under control. Okay. All right, cool. So we're clear on YouTube. Awesome. Looking good. Great. Serena, I appreciate you. Level 1 autistic and newly diagnosed. If you just got diagnosed or you feel as if you have autism, this page is perfect for you. Hopefully this is going to be very relatable for you. Everything I talk about tonight and everything on the page. Okay, all right, guys. So we can get to the live stream. I don't have to shut off the connection and reboot everything. Let's see where people are checking in from. We got love from Cincinnati in the house. Cincinnati in the house. Looking here on my rider is fighting for his life. Jessica from Wisconsin. Okay. I'm neurodivergent. That's why I have all these tabs. North Kakalaki. Then we have Newark, New Jersey. Mary's checking in from Idaho. East Tennessee in the house. Okay. Los Angeles in the house. Indiana. Texas girly. Greetings from Tennessee. Adam, it's my pleasure. I'm having fun making content. It's my pleasure. Kingston, Jamaica. San Antonio, Texas. Wales. ADHD bipolar in Wales. Salt Lake City, UK. So we have a lot of people checking in from all over the world. From Memphis to Wisconsin to Alabama to UK to Washington, D.C., Miami, Missouri. Hey, Avery, how are you? I'm 18 and I have ADHD and autism. I'm from Missouri. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the community. Florida in the house. Laguna Niguel, California, the Virgin Islands. Atlanta, College Park, Maryland, Jersey. Awesome. So we have an international audience here to talk about 4 ways that AuDHD can turn into agoraphobia. And for those of y'all who missed what I have to say about the comedy show at the beginning of the stream, I said that in 2 weeks, we're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee at the Zanies Lab for our second comedy show of the tour. Well, the third. We had 2 in Houston. We have 2 shows in Nashville. The first show is sold out. So big clap to the community. And there are still tickets left for the second show. If you want to buy tickets, please buy tickets from the link in my bio. Do not buy tickets from StubHub or the reseller websites, because those tickets were, my sister told me that tickets were going for like $1,000 on StubHub. I don't think it's that expensive. It shouldn't be nowhere near that expensive, but you can get the actual tickets from the link in my bio. Okay, so the link in my bio has the regular prices. Don't overpay. And yeah, I hope to see y'all in Nashville, and the rest of y'all in New York, I'll see y'all a week later. Then in Chicago, I'll see y'all a week later. All right. So let's talk about AuDHD and agoraphobia. Before we talk about the 4 ways that AuDHD can turn to agoraphobia, I think it's important to first describe or define what agoraphobia is. All right. And I got the DSM definition pulled up of agoraphobia. And to sum it up, what Abril Shannon is saying is this is a good definition of agoraphobia. You're afraid to leave your home. So in layman's terms, yeah, somebody who is afraid to leave their home. And I'm not talking about the person who is like, well, I don't want to go out today. Like, I'm afraid to. Fine, I'll go out. No, the person who has a hard time even checking the mail. Somebody who has a hard time going out by themselves. Somebody that will make plans and then cancel it when it gets too close. When it gets too close to says we're having trouble streaming to the TikTok. TikTok, let me know if y'all can see me, because it's saying that we're having trouble streaming on TikTok. But it looks like I'm still pretty good on TikTok. But yeah, somebody who is having a hard time leaving the house by themselves. That's agoraphobia. Kate, I hope somebody comes with you to the show in Chicago. If not, come by yourself. I still want to see you. All right. So it glitched for just for a second. So TikTok, are we good to go? Looks like we're good to go on TikTok, I think. All right, we're good to go on TikTok. Perfect. All right, so the DSM-5 definition of agoraphobia: marked fear or anxiety about 2 or more of the following situations. Number 1, using public transportation. Number 2, being in open spaces. All right, like the grocery store, coffee shops. Being in enclosed spaces, movie theaters. Staying in line or being in a crowd. being outside of the home alone. Okay. And when you go to your doctor, your provider, whoever you see for your psych, they can't just diagnose you with agoraphobia if this has been going on for a week and a half. Nah, this has got to go on for at least 6 months, okay, for the better part of a year. If these things are happening and it's been happening for at least 6 months, then okay, you could meet the criteria for agoraphobia. And if you are neurospicy, there's a lot of things that we experience that will make us not want to leave the house. All right, it'll make us not want to leave the house. And someone on TikTok says, "Bro, you wore a suit and a tie to a Dodgers game. Why?" Because I'm handsome and I want people to see me fly. That's why I dress up to the Dodgers game. Because I'm a handsome young lad and I gotta sometimes I gotta put it on. Gotta put it on. Someone on TikTok says, "Is that why I find it impossible to go to the gym?" Somebody who has agoraphobia would really struggle going to the gym. That's a really good example right there. Going to the gym can be very difficult. And you may only be able to go to the gym if somebody goes with you. It's almost like you need a chaperone to leave the house. All right. And Molly said she did not realize what it was. Yeah. And Manda Panda, it's as if you have my list. You talking about AuDHD burnout. It's as if you have my list. Because this is one of the things that I'm going to talk about. I appreciate that. You said I look dapper, and somebody on TikTok says I look dapper, Stephanie. That's a very unique word. I like that word, dapper. I like that word, dapper. Dapper. How can we get it treated? I'm gonna get there. Actually, I'm gonna just tell you now. The way you treat agoraphobia is through cognitive behavioral therapy, and you can also use medications as well. So it's a combination of those two. And keep in mind, if you have agoraphobia, that's as a result of you being neurodivergent. You're probably already taking medications. So sometimes the answer is not to keep giving pill after pill after pill after pill. Sometimes you have to go backwards and take off pills. So even like for me, just to give you an example, even though I prescribe medications, sometimes I de-prescribe medications. Sometimes the goal is not to add another medication, but it's to take 2 medications off. Because you have one med to treat something, then another one for like the side effect. So yeah. All right. So the 4 ways. Ooh, let me get this stretching. Ooh. I feel like it should make a sound so y'all can hear it crack. Oh, there you go. The neck gave me a couple of sounds. I like the sound of my back cracking. Does that make me weird? Does that make me weird if I like the sound of my back cracking? I mean, I know I'm weird, but you heard those lumbar cracks? So Jessica, you heard it, right? Okay. The rest, okay, all right. It was audible. Perfect. I like that sound. And Kara says, I like the sound of my knuckles cracking. Yeah. Make it a little weird, All right. So 4 ways that AuDHD can turn into agoraphobia, okay? So if you have autism and ADHD, the 4 ways that it can turn into agoraphobia. Number 1, all right? I think this goes without saying, the sensory overload. If you're somebody who you struggle with outside, just being outside, it's too loud, it's too bright, it's too much going on, and it's happening all at once, and it's just overwhelming for you, the tendency that you'll go out the next day is unlikely. If this keeps happening for you, the tendency that you'll go out a lot drops, and you tend to isolate yourself, not because the world's evil, but because the world's too much. So, for example, somebody was saying that, bro, why did you wear a suit to the Dodgers game? I'm like, oh, I just wanted to wear a suit to the Dodgers game just because. But one of the skits that we shot at the Dodgers game was, where I'm there and Emily's next to me and then she's overstimulated. So she wants to leave the Dodgers game. You have all these bright lights, you have all this noise. And if it's not your environment, right? So in that video, like Emily likes baseball, but she's overstimulated. So it's just too much and she needs to leave. Like, I got to get out of here. So if that's how it is for you, you wouldn't want to go to another Dodgers game because it's just too much, right? But that's a sporting event. That's a sporting event. So when you experience sensory overload at a sporting event, I think that's to be expected. You're going to get that with basketball and baseball and football, even golf. When you leave the house for sports, there's a chance that you can experience sensory overload. Now, for the person who has autism and ADHD and they experience sensory overload when they're going to the grocery store, when they're going from home to work, from work back home, especially people who use public transportation. So New York City, one of the cities I'm going to on tour, in New York, people don't drive a lot. People don't drive that much in New York. Long time ago, when I was in college, I dated a girl who was from New York and she didn't have a driver's license. And that was normal because, you know, they take the subway in New York a lot. So nobody's really driving up there. So if you live in one of those cities like New York or maybe a Chicago and you use public transportation, and for you to go from home to work, you have to deal with a lot of loud noises. You could become easily overstimulated. And will you quit your job because of this? Probably not, because you still need your job. But you will go out less in general because outside is just too much. It's just way, way too much. And that game was good. Wemby is an alien. That guy's a freak of nature. My goodness. I think the Spurs will win. I'm rooting for the Spurs, but if OKC wins, whatever. Hope says, loud noises and transitions. I overthink it. That's why I curbside or even have it delivered. Thank God for that. And somebody who deals with agoraphobia would look for workarounds like this. You would look for workarounds like, and look, Hope, I'm not saying that you have agoraphobia, but it's a thing to use a lot of DoorDash, a lot of delivery service, anything to avoid you having to leave the house. The key is not wanting to leave the house. I want to stay at home. I want to be at home. I don't want to leave these four walls. The overstimulation happens when I'm outside. So if I'm not outside, I feel good. And this is a temporary relief that creates a long-term problem. Because if you stay in the house for too long, inside thoughts, once they accumulate, good things don't happen. Unfortunately, or fortunately, life happens outside of these four walls. We have to get out. We got to talk to people. Sometimes people get to peopling and it's too much, but we have to talk to people. We got to get outside of the house and talk to folks. But if you have agoraphobia, or if you have sensory overload, if you deal with that too often, there's a good chance that you'll isolate. And before you know it, weeks have gone by and you haven't really left the house. Time goes by so fast. We're already in May is halfway over. Guys, this is the 5th month of the year. This is the 5th month of the year. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be in June. 2026 is about to be halfway over. Halfway over. So if you stay at home and it's been a couple of days and turns into a couple of weeks, before you know it, this can turn to a couple of months. And you realize, oh my goodness, I'm depressed. I haven't left the house in weeks and months. Time is flying by. Time is flying by, guys. Time is flying by. Somebody says, Akon. That's me. That's funny. And yes, you could be understimulated and overstimulated, and you can vacillate back and forth. And theoretically, in a way, you could be overstimulated in one area. For example, let's say you're in a loud environment and you're overstimulated, but you're bored. So you could be understimulated in a way. You need to be stimulated in a way that actually makes sense to you, something that's exciting for you. So you could be understimulated and overstimulated. Normally, the overstimulation kind of overshadows the understimulation, because being understimulated is a problem for us. That's a whole different angle we can take it at. But boredom is not a good thing for those of us who have autism and ADHD. Try your best to avoid boredom. Boredom. A lot of people's relationships have ended because of boredom. I think people think that, if relationships ended, somebody cheated or something bad. No. 2 bored people normally don't make it out of the relationship. If you're bored for too long, like if I'm bored for too long, I become destructive. I'm like my dog. I need things to do. I need problems to solve. So understimulation can be just as bad as overstimulation too. It can be just as bad. It can be just as bad. And Shauna says, this is why I'm trying to force myself to get a non-remote job. My mental health is the worst ever. We're going to have this conversation one of these days about remote jobs. Okay. I know that a lot of us here are neurospicy, and remote jobs are a godsend for us because that way we don't have to go into the office. Like, remote jobs, I think, is one of the best things that has happened to us as a society because now we have more flexibility. At the same time, remote work is a trap. I agree with Jasmine. It's so good, but it's also a trap. It's especially if you have AuDHD. Remote work, it's a good thing, but it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Hybrid with variety probably works the best, but if your job is fully remote, you have to find ways to go outside and talk to people. You just cannot do remote 100% remote work where you don't interact with anybody outside of like your colleagues. You can lose it, guys. You need to do something. You need to do something. Ari, don't be anxious. We'd love to see you there. But I'm also looking to get an Atlanta date sometime this year too. Remote jobs can hurt in the long run. Right. They make isolation. I think what we're in love with is the idea of a remote job, but actually being remote and not talking to anybody can be an issue, guys. It could be a definite issue. And like I said, it works really well for Leilani. She's able to get outside. The key is that you have to get outside. Okay? You got to get outside. So some people who work remotely and they get outside, that's cool. But a remote job for somebody who's neurodivergent, who is already dealing with sensory overload, that could fuel the fire of agoraphobia. Because if you have agoraphobia, you can work remotely from the house. And I guess, that could also be a good thing. Because let's say your mental health is declining and you're too afraid to leave the house. In that case, oh, thank God that we have a remote job that we can do so that way our income isn't interrupted. At the same time, you got to get out. And people are all saying that hybrid is the best. Hybrid's pretty nice. Alexis, we're talking about agoraphobia tonight. And Jennifer says, I couldn't do remote during COVID as much. It was nice to stay home. I got so isolated. Look, you have to go out and talk to people. You have to. You got to talk to somebody. Unfortunately, people need people. People need people. Molly says, I've considered remote as a nurse due to overstimulation at work. If I need a routine of getting ready, going and coming to work, I need right. We hate routine, but we also need routine. Because look, with remote work, like let's say this was remote work and y'all were my patients and now seeing y'all. I could be like this with my suit on right here, my tie, looking all dapper, because that's the word I was used to describe me, looking all dapper. But underneath, I could have no pants on. I could be free balling. You could do that when you work remote. Suit and tie on, no pants, just free balling. And after the appointment's over, I walk around the house. I'm just free balling everywhere because we can do that. But you cannot free ball in the office. I mean, I guess you can, but you probably reported to HR, so that wouldn't be too good, right? So when you're at home, you can kind of do what you want, but that routine of getting fully dressed and getting fully ready, it's hard to get fully ready when you're home. Because you don't have to. You can just free ball to stand up real quick. Free ballers. We're free balling tonight. Yeah. See, that's the thing about remote work. You have to, I mean, not for everybody, right? Not for everybody. I gotta prove I have pants on. I'm afraid to get up right now. I'm afraid to get up. I'm afraid. Let's just go on to the next point. Shauna says it's easy to skip personal hygiene too. No facts. You don't have to shower if you work from home. You don't have to do nothing. You got to do a single thing. All you have to do is make sure that you look somewhat presentable from the waist up. Nobody sees from the waist down on the live stream. So I'll have pants on. That would be funny if I did a live stream with no pants on, and I'm like, all right, do a live stream with, but remember to not stand up. That'd be funny. That'd be funny. Oh my goodness. But no, I'm not free balling. I'm not free balling. Sometimes I do, but not when I'm on a live stream. We wouldn't want disaster. We wouldn't want disaster. And somebody says on TikTok, never see the same person twice. Been wearing the same shirt all week. Right. If you work remote, you can wear the same shirt all week. You haven't swapped shirts all week. The same shirt that you had on last week, Thursday, you're wearing that same shirt today. Mickey Ficky. You need routine. You need routine, guys. You need routine. You gotta force yourself to get outside of the house in some way. All right. Rejection sensitive dysphoria is the second way that AuDHD can turn to agoraphobia. It makes potential social interactions. No, let me write that correctly. Makes. Can I spell it today or not? There you go. Social. Okay, feel like potential disasters. There we go. And Sky says, I watched your live about jobs. You said bartending would be great. Turns out you're absolutely correct. Congrats on your bartending job. I host night adult-only events. Adult only. I had my bartending license for years and overthought things. I'm happy for you, Sky. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. That is awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Second way that AuDHD can turn to agoraphobia. Rejection sensitive dysphoria makes social interactions feel like potential disasters. Okay. One thing about us as a community, as neurodivergence, is we don't like rejection, and we'll do anything to avoid rejection. I believe that that's our default. Our default is avoiding rejection. So if you don't like rejection to the point where you go out of your way to avoid it, you're going to avoid a lot of things that could be potentially really good for you. If you don't go out and talk to people, you won't be rejected by folks. So if you stay inside the house, there's a 0% chance that you'll be rejected by anybody. And that feels good. At the same time, there's a 0% chance that you connect with anyone. So rejection alters a lot of our behavior, especially when you feel it and you go out, especially when you go out as yourself. Because a lot of times we'll go out with a mask, but when you drop the mask, you go outside and you want to connect with people as your actual self, and you realize that people aren't rocking with you, that people either look like they don't know what you're talking about, or you're having a hard time connecting with folks, it's going to make you do one of two things. Either you'll bring the mask back out, number one, or number two, you'll just isolate from people. Because you might be the point where you say, okay, I don't like having to be somebody else in order to get friends. I don't like having to put on this facade. So I'll just stay at home and be my most authentic self, which is cool, the first part. But the second part is, okay, like you're not connecting with people. If you want to make friends, you have to deal with talking to people that don't want to be your friend. If you want to meet romantic partners, you have to talk to people that may not be interested in you, people that don't find you attractive. And it can be hurtful to realize that there's people out there that don't want to be your friend, to realize that there's folks out there that don't think that you are handsome or pretty, or, like those opinions of others can affect us. And if it affects you to the point where you're changing your behavior, you could be somebody who is headed for extreme isolation and depression and or burnout. And at that point, you're not going to try and connect with people. You're going to stay inside the house. All right. And somebody says, no one can see me doing exercise wrong if I don't go to the gym. There's always something. Right. Because when you go to the gym, you exercise with other people there. And I mean, I go to the gym almost every day now, but I remember early my gym journey when I was super lanky. I'll go into the gym and I see all these like ripped dudes with big muscles, and the girls would like be around them. I'm like, man, like I want to be one of those big dudes. I want big muscles so that the girls can hover around me. But when I would bench, I'd be embarrassed by how much I was benching. I'm like, I don't want people to see me benching 145 pounds. I want to bench 225. I want to bench 2 plates on each side. But right now, I'm not there. So you have to go through that uncomfortable phase where people see you trying. That's for anything. People got to see you try over and over and over. And if you can get over yourself and not be affected by people's opinions of you, then you can connect with people. You can connect with people. Then these influencers recording in the gym. Right. And whenever I record at the gym, which is not that often, I make sure that I don't record anybody else because people don't want to be on social media. I make sure that like I'm not being a creep. I'm not a creep, but I make sure I'm not being perceived as a creep. If there's a woman in the vicinity, I'm not going to record. I don't want anybody to feel away, but there are some people that go to the gym and they don't care. They just record. They just don't care. And Catherine is saying, I just quit at my ballet studio because this one ballet teacher scolded me. I'm falling apart. Catherine, sorry to hear that. Screw that teacher. Go back and get your job. Screw the teacher. Go back and get your job. Gym can be hard. The gym can be hard. The gym can be hard. But guess what? There's always somebody who is also a beginner like you. People of all levels go to the gym. So don't let that stop you from, working on your mental health and working on your physical health. But shout out to the 24-hour gyms. Shout out to them. I go to a 24-hour gym, and you can go in there and work at 3 a.m. You can work at 5 a.m. You can work at 11 p.m. So sometimes I would recommend that. If you're having a hard time leaving the house, if you're really struggling and the gym is too much for you, if you can go at odd times, a 6 a.m., that beats 6 p.m. 5 a.m. beats 5 p.m. Of course, that's super early for a lot of people. 11 p.m. beats 11 a.m. Because there's just less people. It's kind of like working night shift at the hospital. It's just so much easier at night, in my opinion. I remember benching just a bar, and it was kind of rough. Me too. I was there at one point. And then someone says, I might try the gym. Okay. I love to see y'all talk about trying the gym. That's good. And Sean says, I shut down first sign of disapproval. And guys, look, if we are shrinking ourselves so that we can fit into certain spaces, it means that we probably weren't meant to be in those spaces. Shrinking yourself because somebody had an issue with you. And now this rejection or this perceived rejection has caused you to alter your behavior. I think all of us will experience that at some point in our lives, even me. And I had to really push past it to learn how to do my thing and not be affected by other people's opinions of me. And Leilani says, I go early sometimes because there are less than 5 people there. Right. But I don't like a crowded gym, but I do like a gym where there's a couple of, like, I want 2 or 3 of like my guys to be at the gym. I want a couple of my friends that I can talk to about football, about basketball, about the playoffs, so I like it to not be too crowded, but I don't want it to be too isolated. Like maybe I'm too confusing, but I don't want it to be fully isolated. Like I want my gym crush to be there. I need to make those 2 seconds out of my day where I make eye contact with my gym crush. Those are 2 very important seconds of the day. So give me a little gym crush, a little something. Give me something now. Give me something, but not a crowded gym. Not a crowded gym. I go to Planet Fitness because here in Mobile it's almost elderly. Shout out to the Mobile Planet Fitness. I enjoy the gym because my ADHD part side enjoys people, my buddy in the spectrum. I have no problem with newness. That's interesting. So you can walk around on a nude beach, but you don't do the gym. Oh, you enjoy the gym. Okay, all right. You enjoy the gym. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Now, nude beaches is like a lot of people here potentially have agoraphobia. So nude beaches is like the final boss of of how open you are. Shauna says on TikTok, I need a gym buddy. Any Cincinnati peeps in the house? If you're in the Cincinnati, Ohio area and you're looking for a gym buddy as well, Shauna on TikTok is in the area. So if you're in the area, hit up Shauna on TikTok. I have the New York Knicks winning. Crazy. I just feel like the Knicks will win. I think they'll upset the Spurs. Some people. Oh, do women do that too? Do women just walk around like free balling, or free balling wouldn't be the right term, but you know what I'm talking about? Because that's something that us guys deal with at the gym. Like a lot of the older guys will just be walking around naked, and like I gotta look up like this. This is how I walk at the gym. You know, because I ain't trying to see. I ain't trying to see nobody free balling. I'm good on that. I'm good on all of that. I'm good on all of that. Someone says, let's all walk around naked. My gym has a pool. Some just dropped their top. I feel like if girls do that, it's not that bad. But for guys, nah, we need to be fully clothed. We can't be walking around like that. Executive dysfunction makes leaving the house a tedious task. Well, I did it at the beach, but I don't at the gym. So you'll walk around. Catherine, how's that work? Catherine says she's fine at the nude beach, but she's too anxious to go to the gym. Okay. Kind of curious for me. You know, I feel like if you can do the nude beach, you can do the gym, but two different things. So I get it. Leilani, good to see you. Good to see you. The other Leilani in Tennessee is good to see you. And a good point too that Emily says, if you can afford it, some gyms offer personal trainers. Personal trainers are really good if you're in the beginning stages or if you just want accountability. Either way. Show Nashville is May 31st at Zany's Lab. May 31st at Zany's Lab. And Catherine is saying that she can do the nude beaches, but not the gym because the social rules are different. Oh, okay. I've never been to a nude beach before, so I don't know what the social rules of the nude beaches are. I'm gonna have to read it up before I go. But I mean, whenever I think of nude beaches, I think of a lot of older dudes, you know, just walking around free balling. So that's kind of why I've avoided them, because you know that's not my thing. Like if it's just women there, like okay, cool, like me and the guys are gonna go. But if it's the older dudes, I'm like, I'm good. Riot Rebel says, can't wait to see you and Chandra in New York City. I can't wait to see you either. New York is going to be great. No, just the two shows in Nashville on the 31st. Just the two shows in Nashville on the 31st. Somebody's saying go to Germany for the nude beaches. Okay, maybe I got to go there for the nude beaches. All right. The third way that AuDHD could turn into agoraphobia. Executive dysfunction makes leaving the house a tedious task. Guys, this, I think I've said this before, but executive dysfunction is the worst part of neurodivergence. That and task paralysis, it can make leaving the house very difficult, because in order to leave the house, you got to shower, or I mean, maybe you shower, maybe you don't, but you put clothes on, right? You know, even if you go to the nude beach, I don't think you drive the car naked, right? You put clothes on to leave the house. Sometimes just getting out of one outfit into another outfit can take a long time. We struggle with transitions. I struggle with transitions really bad. I'll get home. I'll be in the car for like a good 30 minutes before I go inside. Why? just because it takes me time to get out of that. Like I'm in a certain mode where I'm in the car. Let me just relax there, and then I'll get inside eventually. So because we struggle with transitions, and because everything that we do, we feel like we're doing it manually, would you want to leave the house? So for the person who works from home, the remote worker, for the remote worker who doesn't have to leave the house at all, who is free balling, or I gotta find a female equivalent for free balling, but they do what they want at home. If this person gets invited to a hangout, okay, your friends invite you to come out, leave the house on the weekends. We're gonna go bowling. We're going bowling Saturday night. You want to go. You actually want to go bowling. But in order for you to go bowling, you got to go take a shower because you've been wearing the same shirt since Monday. The same shirt that you open up your laptop and you log on to Microsoft Teams and you join the team meeting. You're wearing the same shirt since Monday. But now your friends want to go bowling. I got to go take a shower. I got to brush my teeth. I got to wash my face. I got to put on deodorant. For women, I got to put on bras. Jasmine says she'll go braless. Maybe you're free balling with the girls. It takes a long time to transition between tasks when you're neurodivergent. In fact, when you have ADHD specifically, the time it takes for you to go from thing 1 to thing 2 is much longer than a neurotypical person. Like studies have shown that there's a delay in between tasks when you have ADHD. So getting ready to leave the house, that takes up half of the energy. And the other half of the energy is spent arriving at the destination. So by the time you get to your destination, you get to the bowling, you're already kind of tired from getting ready and driving there. But now you gotta bowl. We're here. It's time to bowl. Someone says free lipping. That's funny. Free lipping. That's funny. Free lipping. We had a meeting for my coworker, forgot to turn his camera off. His free balling toddler went by. Thank God it was his free balling toddler as opposed to his free balling wife. Free cheeks. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so the executive dysfunction can make it hard to leave the house. Can somebody drop the magic word in so we can get some water? Underwear is overrated. Is underwear overrated? Maybe for a woman, but as a guy, I can't say that it's overrated, because the alternative is to free ball. And sometimes you don't need things flapping everywhere. So for us as guys, it's definitely helpful. Big cheers, y'all. Big cheers. Time to get some water. Big cheers. Time to get some water. Big cheers. Big cheers, y'all. Big cheers. My cat's isn't on team meetings. That's funny. Great underwear is hard to find. Oh, I don't have this problem. I mean, underwear hasn't been difficult for me to find. But, we have different body shapes and sizes. And I'm sure that maybe with women find the right underwear. And also, it's a texture thing, too. So it could be hard to find the right underwear. Winnie Poohing it, it doesn't have a ring to it. Nah. Don't have the ring that I'm looking for. I'll wait before I go into a social event. I'm grateful for my friends who check on me and make sure I'm not too overstimulated. That and headphones. Oh, headphones at a social event is an easy tell that somebody's neurodivergent. Like I see this so many times. Like everybody's hanging out, having a good time. Then you have the one guy or girl in the corner with AirPods in. And they'll usually have one AirPod in so you can hear people, but then you're still connected to the world that you control through your phone. So nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Women's underwear is so uncomfortable compared to men's. So that's what I've gathered here. That's what I've gathered here, that y'all's underwear is not right. For us, it's just so much easier. Like, just go get some, boxers and call it a day. Call it a day. Donald Ducking it. Okay, I like that. I like that. No, Adam, we haven't got to the fourth point yet. Hey, go commando. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Cassie, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I love these comments. I appreciate you. Charlotte from the UK. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me answer this question real quick, and then we'll get to the fourth point. But real quick, somebody on TikTok says, why do people still come up to you in public with headphones on? I don't know, but I have that experience as well. People will still come up to me with headphones. So, and I'll talk back. Sometimes you'll put the headphones on as a way to tell people, hey, don't talk to me. And they still come and talk to you. Do people with AuDHD replay regrets more than people with only ADHD? I feel like one of the things that you keep it from people is if having mistakes and you remember them forever. So I think that if you have autism and ADHD, the reason why you could replay regrets more than people who just have ADHD is because you have two conditions that make it harder for you to regulate your emotions. So autism by itself makes it hard to regulate your emotions. ADHD by itself makes it really hard to regulate your emotions. But if you have both, then you're dealing with not just one thing, but two things. So I think having AuDHD, you could possibly replay regrets more than somebody who has just one. It's kind of like a double whammy. But at the same time, autism, I've heard this quote online and I love it. Autism acts as a parent to ADHD. So the two as a combination sometimes can work in your favor. The ADHD, you want to do everything the way you want to do it, whenever, wherever. And autism kind of, makes you fall in line with some sort of a routine. So it can be a double whammy emotionally, but it can help you out in some perspectives. We have booty cheek floss. Oh, heck no. Those that booty cheek floss. Heck no. And Emily, that was an excellent question. The question I just answered, that was an excellent question. Really good question. That's why I saw it. I'm like, I want to answer that question because I think the emotional component of autism and ADHD is not talked about enough. It's very emotionally draining. I mean, just having one, this autism by itself is emotionally draining. ADHD by itself is emotionally draining. You combine the both, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And that doesn't make the executive dysfunction any better. Like, you were already tired. Now you're just drained. And these are the people who go to sleep and get 8 hours of sleep and you wake up and you're still exhausted. Like it seems as if nothing will help you recharge. It's because you're emotionally tired. You're burnt out. All right. And the fourth way that AuDHD can turn to agoraphobia, somebody alluded to it earlier. Burnout. From masking and pretending to be okay. Burnout from masking. Actually, let me add one more thing. Okay. And the lack of a system. So burnout is one way that, or the fourth way the AuDHD can turn to agoraphobia. Burnout. And I want to be a bit more specific. I said burnout from masking, pretending to be okay, and the lack of a system. Okay? And the lack of a system. So if you mask, the good news is you get the social benefits. You get friends. You get romantic partners. You get jobs. When you're pretending to be somebody else at work, they love it. Okay? The workplace loves it. I'm not sure how much they like the actual you, but when you mask at work, you get promotions, you get increased salary. People say that you have a warm spirit. They use all these adjectives to make you feel good. And sometimes you feel bad because you know that that's not the real you, but it's the version of yourself that you've created so that way you can remain employable. right? So the mask does help in some capacity, in a lot of ways, okay? But it's not you, and it drains you, all right? Pretending to be okay when you're not. A lot of us, especially people who are level 1 autism, people who don't look like they need a lot of help, but still need a lot of help. When you mask, you make people think that you don't need any help. So if you don't need any help, why would somebody help you? Like, you look like you're fine. So like, why should I help you out? You know, like if you ask me for help, I'll help you. But when I look at you, you go to work, you have a big boy, big girl job, you pay your bills, you appear to be a functioning member of society. So there's no reason for me to help you. I think you're okay. So pretend to be okay will prevent you from getting the help that you need. And every neurodivergent person needs to have some type of external support. All of us need some type of external support, and more importantly, a system on how we do things. You need a system for going to bed. You need one for waking up. You need one for transitioning from getting out of the car into the house, from how you change out of this outfit into the next outfit. You need a system for how you choose to go about getting food. Are you going to cook every day? Is that burning you out? Are you going to DoorDash? Are you going to buy a whole bunch of food from Costco and then just eat the same thing every single day? You need a system for how you operate your life. All right? Because when you have a system, it reduces decision fatigue. Imagine waking up in the morning and you don't know what you have to do. So you're like, okay, what's more important? I know I need an oil change, but then I have to finish this spreadsheet for work. But I have to eat. Okay, I haven't eaten in so many hours, and the oil change, and I got to put gas in the car. I have to drive 3 hours. You don't know what to do because you don't have a system. When you have a system, it reduces decision fatigue. You don't have to spend so much brain power figuring out, oh, this is what I'm doing today. This one, you just kind of go by the system. The system allows you to kind of live as a neurotypical. You get to do things automatically instead of everything having to be manual. Okay, but without a system, without the additional help, and with all the masking, that's going to get you to a point where you are burned out. And when you are burned out, until you get a system, you won't be okay. I mean, you'll be fine, but you won't rectify what is actually going on because you're burnt out. And a burnt out person's favorite place is home. Why would you want to go anywhere? You're burnt out. So you're going to do things that take very little effort. At home, like I said, you can do anything at home. You can eat the same thing every single day, all over again. You can log on to your Microsoft Teams, do appointments from home. You can walk around the house naked. You can fart. You can do whatever you want at home. You can watch marathons of reruns of The Office. You can do whatever you want at the house. And you know, that's cool in a sense. You have freedom and autonomy. However, we need people. You have to be around people. And look, I knew somebody was going to say that. I knew somebody was going to say this at some point. I knew somebody was going to say this. Okay, I know it's safe at home and the world is crazy. You're not wrong. Okay, so you're not wrong. But hear me out here. If loneliness is a public health crisis, okay, guys, they've compared loneliness to being as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So loneliness has been equated to smoking. That's how bad it is to be lonely and to be isolated from the world. 15 cigarettes a day. You'd be better off going into public, being around people, and smoking just like 2 or 3 cigarettes. You'd be healthier that way. Or even going into public and getting high. Like you'd be healthier doing that than to just be at home. So home is safe, okay? And I'm somebody who loves home as well. Trust me, I love home. I love home. If somebody cancels on me, I'm never upset. I'm never upset when people cancel on me. I'm like, oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm fine. I could be texting a young woman that I just met. Hey, come over tonight, blah, blah. I got the wine. If she hits me up an hour before, oh, I'm so sorry. You're going to hate me. I'm not going to hate you. No, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm here with my dog. I can watch me movies. I can play PlayStation. I'm good. I'm good at the house. I love the house. And I do think that I'm probably more an extrovert than an introvert, but I love the house. I have to force myself to leave the house sometimes because I know that being at home is not healthy. It's not healthy to be at home all the time. So you are safer at home, yes, but you can get into a negative thought pattern where home is the answer for everything. Home is the answer for everything. So you have to get out a little bit. You have to get out a little bit. I know, guys, I promise you. And that's one of the cool things about my comedy shows, that I get to meet people in person. Live streams are cool. I won't stop the live streams, but getting to actually interact with people in real life, since COVID, has been way harder. And even before COVID, who said our social skills were like perfect? They probably weren't. But since COVID, everything is kind of coming down like this. It's just harder to talk to people. You ever open your mouth to talk to somebody in public and you realize that you said some words that weren't English? You're like, hold up, I'm sorry. No, I take back what I said. This is what I meant to say. Your social skills will deteriorate when you don't get out of the house. You got to get out of the house. Morningstar, I'm happy you joined the live stream. Got to get out of the house. I'll be in New York City June 11th. Got to get out of the house. Taking yourself on movie dates and comedy shows. Great, Alexis. You have to do things. And look, obviously, if Alexis had like a BFF that was super cool to be around and she went with this person to movie dates and comedy shows, yeah, would that be more fun? Yeah. But if you have the ability to do things by yourself, that's a great skill to have. That's a great skill to have. Serena, sometimes you can't prevent a meltdown from happening, but if you have a system or people around you that know that you're, experiencing a meltdown, having the right environment would be good for that. And speaking of home is a place where people feel safe to have a meltdown. It's much better to have a meltdown at home than, in the middle of the store at Kroger, when you're like the fourth person in line and people are watching. So having a system can be helpful. I mean, some people take medications like anxiety meds to help them out. Some people will, eat sour candy. So there's different things that you can do to help yourself out when you feel like you're having a meltdown. Alone, but maybe not lonely. I may be alone sometimes, but trust me, I'm not lonely. You can be you can be alone and not lonely, but loneliness is it's interesting because I'll feel lonely often, but it's more solitude than anything. Like I feel loneliness, and you can also feel lonely when you're around people too. So it's many different ways that you can feel lonely. And I agree with this comment from Ari right here. Sometimes family and friends don't give you the support that you need. And look, you could be somebody who knows what support that you need, and you could be somebody who expresses to people, hey, I need this type of support, and you still may not get it from folks. For example, if you're somebody who not that you need, but you benefit from people being around, like somebody coming in to check on you, maybe you have a roommate or somebody, you have an extra room at your place, and you'd like for family and friends to come over and help you out with just some basic chores and tasks. That's support right there. And you can also go over to their house and help them clean, because it's easier to clean other people's stuff than it is to clean our stuff. So you can kind of barter, so that way it doesn't feel like you're a basket case. Like you need help from everybody, but you can't do anything right for yourself. So, you have to know that you need help, but you can also give help as well. Aaron, all these live streams can be watched after the fact on YouTube and on Facebook. Not on TikTok, unfortunately, but YouTube and Facebook. All these can be watched after the fact. And I just thought something real quick. John, I just saw something real quick. For the live streams, whenever Christine gets the clips, can she just use the TikTok stream, and then we can use like the horizontal thing within the vertical? I just saw that right now. Yeah, we'll find a way to get some of these clips on TikTok, so that way My TikTokers can watch it after the fact. But if you're on YouTube or Facebook, especially Facebook, you can watch all the live streams after the fact. And Adam, I would love to come to Atlanta. Eventually, I would love to come to Atlanta. Love to come to Atlanta. The meltdowns are a lot when your family isn't sure how to help during them. Sometimes family, they won't listen to you, but they'll listen to, or they'll watch a video that you send them. I get a lot of DMs from people saying that they share my videos with loved ones to help them understand that a little bit better. So sometimes it's hard to talk to family and tell them what you need, or you may say, hey, I need this type of support. And they're like, okay. And they go on to do the opposite thing of what you need. And look, it's easier to just stay at home than to, like, if you keep asking people for help and you don't get the support that you need, you're going to stay at home because it's just easier to be at home. I'm just going to stay at home because I asked for help. I told y'all what I needed and I'm not getting the help. So why am I going to frustrate myself? I'm going to just stay at home. I'm going to just stay at home. The library is up. Guys, we have to make the library great again. The library is a great place to be. You don't spend any money and it's quiet. People have to be quiet at the library. If somebody's loud at the library, the librarian walks up to you, they tap you on the shoulder. Hey, I'm gonna need you to log off. I'm gonna need you to go home. They kick you out for being loud at the library. So I'm a big fan of libraries. Big fan of libraries. We're at the 1 hour mark. I'll go about 15 to 20 minutes more. Thank you for letting me know that. Patricia says, love libraries. Library employees love it. SG says, I went to the library today. I thought about going to the library today. I may go tomorrow. I love the library. I love the library. Mark Nelly says, my family laughs at my meltdowns. Oh, your family tripping then. Your family is tripping. Someone says, what about relationships? What would your, what's this question? Or Sean says, let's talk about being married to someone who doesn't believe in mental health. Try harder. Look, it's hard to, you ain't got to divorce them, but it's hard to be with people who don't believe in mental health or the fact that you need support. Go ahead and clock out for me. Go ahead and clock out for me. Somebody had a great question here I wanted to get to on TikTok. What did they say? What about relationships? What would your ideal partner be if you have ADHD? If you have ADHD, your ideal partner is anybody who's committed to understanding you and learning about you. They may not understand, but if they make an attempt to learn how you operate as a human being, that's the person you should be looking for if you have ADHD. If they have ADHD as well, too, cool. But you can find, I'm sure you can find a neurotypical person who doesn't have ADHD or autism that would be willing to learn about what life is like for you. I'm sure you could find that. I'm sure you could find that. Steven, I appreciate you. See your comments, Steven. I appreciate you. You got your diagnosis. Your whole life is making sense. Now you can look yourself in the eyes and like the man that you see. Love the man that you see. That's awesome, Steven. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Cassie says, I think about going to the library a lot, but then I seem to talk myself about it. Okay, yeah, you're afraid to leave. Look, leaving the house is a scary thing, guys. Leaving the house is a scary thing, especially if you consume a lot of the news. If you look at what's happening in the world, you're like, okay, if I leave the house, a lot of bad things can happen. I'll just stay at home. But when you're around around people, especially at a library, the library is a safe space. You can go there, you can get things done. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm 5 times more productive at the library than I am at home by myself. Because people are around, you can hear people working. It makes you want to work. And a lot of us, we spoke about understimulation earlier. A lot of us are understimulated and we get bored. And when you're bored, it's hard to control your mood and your attention because you're just bored. Like being bored is the catalyst for a lot of things that we do that sets us back. A lot of self-sabotage has happened with somebody being bored. So try to avoid boredom if you can. Try to avoid boredom if you can. I only know how to work, be home, or be the fun guy outside of home. That's exhausting. Okay, Bobby, you can always make some improvements. Brittany says, before I get to Brittany, Sean says, so glad I caught you tonight. I'm off work now. Remote. Remote work, babe. We gotta have this conversation about remote work. The do's and don'ts of remote work. Brittany says, AuDHD here. I feel I'm repeating myself on these boundaries all the time and still feel unheard. Advice. If you are constantly reminding somebody about your boundaries, that means that they're not following them. And after you say something, you have to move with action. So if you say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, and somebody continues to do that, the next rational thing to do would be to remove access, to yourself. But if this is your mom, or I mean, even worse, like your spouse or somebody you live with, it'll be a little harder to do that. But sometimes it's helpful to go to therapy with your partner and just kind of reset, especially if you're saying something and people aren't hearing you. So, congrats on the diagnosis, Alexis. Okay. You need a leveled up therapist. Congrats on that. Watching this, trying to get motivated in my remote job. We have to get outside of the house. We have to get outside of the house because like your sense of time is so distorted when you work from home. It's remote work is much harder than people think it is. Like it's hard for the same reasons why a very busy job is difficult. It's hard because there's nothing to do. And even when there is something to do, those of us who have ADHD, we normally have these spurts where we're extremely productive. Maybe it's between 8:30 a.m. to 12 or 11:45, but we have these pockets where we get so much done, and then after that, it's like I can't even form a full sentence. Funny how that works. It's funny how that works. Christina says, remote work sent me into depression. Guys, it's harder than you think it is. Only people who understand this is people who have worked remote before or people who are currently working remote, especially somebody who's worked a job that's 100% remote. A job that's 100% remote where there's no option to even go into the office. Yeah, they understand it. They understand it. They understand it. If you sit in a chair for 18 hours, stand for 1 minute every hour. I like that. I like that. I like that. Allison, congrats. I hate that you came later in the live stream, but I'm happy that you got, the proper help. And earlier we spoke a little bit about what you do for agoraphobia. It's therapy is first line, but medications as well can be helpful. And I'm happy that you found your combination. I'm happy. Even if you just go for a walk during your break time, it works for right people. Open the blinds and windows sometimes. Oh, look, if you spend a lot of time at home, whether it's remote work or you're just a homebody, you have to open the blinds and let the sunshine come in. You have to, because there's nothing more depressing than not having any sunlight. You need to take in the sun. You need to be able to decipher between daytime and nighttime. Sometimes it's hard if the blinds are always closed. We don't know if it's 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. And that can be a big problem. It could be a big problem. Remote work only helps so much. I did it for 5 years. Oh, wow. That's a long time to be remote. That's a long time to be remote. It became so isolating. Yeah. Remote work is tough, guys. And people who go into the office every day are like, what could be difficult about it? They don't understand. They definitely don't understand it. They don't understand it. It's hard because at home, there's no one to hold yourself accountable. Right. You have to, that's the key. You have to have discipline and some sort of a routine. You need some sort of a routine because Guys, I'm telling you, for those of us who have ADHD and autism, that ADHD part does not do well with boredom and a lack of routine. You will get in trouble. I don't know what trouble, but you'll find yourself in trouble. Remember, some of y'all have kids. And if you don't, think back to when you were a kid. Whenever you give kids lots of time by themselves with nothing to do, they always become destructive. They find ways to get into trouble. They start removing screws from couches. Like kids have to do something. The same way kids are helter-skelter when they have no routine, no assignment, nothing to work on. That's how we are as human beings with ADHD when we have no routine and no clear-cut objectives. If you don't have the discipline, if you don't have a third space that you can go to, a library, a friend's house, or maybe have somebody come over and body double with you, have another person in the house so that way you can kind of have some sense of time. If you don't do that, you'll self-sabotage. I don't know what you'll do, but you'll find yourself in some trouble. You'll find yourself somewhere that you shouldn't be, doing something that you shouldn't be doing because you just had too much time. And I've said before that work from home is a trap if you have ADHD. It's a trap. It's not the worst thing in the world, and it's very convenient. And I've let's see, the past 5 years or so. The past 5 years, I feel like I've seen patients has been like more so 60-40 in person, 40 remote. Yeah, so I have experience with remote work, and my routines are so much better now than back in the past. Like take me 10 years ago, I would have gotten in trouble with remote work. Could not have done it. Could not have done it. Could not have done it. And it's better now, but it's only marginally better. Well, maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit, but I feel like there's still so much more room for improvement when it comes to my schedule and routine. Kimmy says, appreciate your content, your approach and insights so relatable, seems so genuine. Kimmy, I appreciate that. I was trying to share my story, just want to share my story and talk my talk. We don't have right. Is the lack of that routine. The lack of that routine, guys. The routine. We like the dark for business. Patrick, this is funny. I think I already clicked this, but I'm not sure if I clicked it. I go in my backyard and garden a little on my break sometimes. I go to the rooftop and journal or color. So look, Leilani has the remote work thing down. She has it down. And if you live in New York City, that's probably one of the best places to do remote work, because going from home to work in New York City with the subway and the train station, and New York City is always loud. I love New York City, probably because it is loud, but New York is always loud, and it's always something happening in New York City. So if you have to, go through hell and back just to get to work, it could be helpful to have you a nice little remote gig where you've used, your past experiences and your current knowledge to give you a routine, because you got this figured out. You got it figured out. Another remote work. Let's switch to third shift, like night shift. Third shift is pretty cool. Someone says leaving a relationship with ADHD. Steve, what is the question on TikTok? What do you mean leaving a relationship with ADHD? Like how? Shauna is very self-aware. Shauna says, I'm not self-disciplined enough for remote work. I'm great at avoiding things. If avoidance is difficult for you, like that's something you struggle with, remote work may not be the best for you. It's not for everybody, I'm telling you. Is it normal as a neurodivergent person to struggle to find hobbies? I wish I had some. I think it can be hard to find hobbies as a neurodivergent person. So sometimes we get so locked into our routines, regardless of how good it is or how bad it is. We get, we start to have the same day over and over and over and over again. And in order to have new hobbies, sometimes you need new friends who can put you on to, bowling or golfing or disc golfing, whatever the thing is. But it's helpful to have people that can introduce you to new worlds. And a lot of people will find friends, or this is one of the reasons why people, date a lot, because you meet new people that can introduce you to new experiences. So sometimes you just have to get out of the house and meet folks, or maybe with your coworkers, or whoever. But you have to put yourself out there. And sometimes the longer you live, you become an adult and you kind of forget what you used to enjoy as a kid. But the key is getting back to your childlike self. That's the key. Can you go back to being silly and stimming in public and flapping your arms and not, living as the person you are now with the mask? Man, she was sticking to hobbies. Oh, if you have ADHD, like you'll have a hobby, then you'll drop it, without even thinking twice about it. And that's okay. That's okay. I struggle with socializing. I'll get to these boys later. I'll get to these guys later. They want to hop on the PlayStation tonight. Maybe I'll have time for them. I struggle with socializing. It's so much energy for me to maintain friends. It can be hard to maintain friends, but guys, we need friends. And we have to bring back inconvenience. I know we became a super efficient world where being inconvenienced in the slightest is just so annoying. But let's bring back inconvenience. Let these boys know I'm on the live stream. Boys keep calling. I'm on the live stream. Who called again? I'm on live stream, y'all. I was talking about inconvenience. We need to bring back inconvenience, y'all. Being inconvenienced for our friends. Traveling to the other side of town on a day that you're tired to show up for a friend who's having a birthday party. Helping out a friend who doesn't have a ride and taking them at the airport. Small things like that. Let's see what Nate said. Okay, but I know that I'll be can run it tomorrow too. I'll play his voice tomorrow. Finding a new hobby every other week and forgetting that the hobby existed. Guys, this tends to happen. It tends to happen. And don't beat yourself up for it. In fact, just embrace the new hobby that you've switched over to. Just embrace it. Embrace it. Making a phone call to make appointments has become an inconvenience, and I hate it. I know. But like Shauna said, we can do hard things. We can do hard things. We can do hard things. And someone said they have rediscovered old hobbies that they used to have. That's another thing about hobbies. You can rediscover things that you used to do in the past. Let me see. I have a new hyperfocus every month. Lost and Pals has a good suggestion that I like here. Paying for a class makes you stick to the hobby, at least for me. I like that. If you put some money behind something, you're going to have more investment into it. Which, guys, that's a tricky game to play. A tricky game to play because those of us who have ADHD, we get too overconsumed with certain things. We start spending too much money. So it's a tricky game to play for real when you spend a lot of money to make you maintain a habit. However, for some of us, that does work. For me, that works because I hate spending money. So when I'm spending a lot of money on a certain thing, I have more of a follow through. If you pay for an expensive gym membership, you're gonna go because I'm paying for this gym membership. Likewise, if you're paying a lot of money in rent, that's nothing that makes you want to stay at home. I'm like, I gotta get my money's worth. I'm gonna walk around the house. I'm gonna sleep in every room because I'm not paying for rent. So I need to make sure I get my money's worth. Shout out to Alicia's husband. My husband pushes me to publicly stim and go back to old hobbies, which does so much for regulation. And that's the type of partner that we should all be looking for. People like Alicia's husband, people that support you stimming, people that don't get upset when you are burnt out and overwhelmed. Yeah, definitely have to enjoy the rent. If you're an adult and you pay rent, I don't care who you are. If you are an adult and you pay rent, spend some time at home. Don't isolate to the point where we're dealing with agoraphobia, but spend some time at home. Make sure you sleep in every room. Make sure you sleep on all the pillows. Make sure you go on the front porch and you just sit there and you just breathe. Just look around. I'm a rent paying person. I need to, take full advantage of this. Touch it. Touch every wall. Touch every wall. Tara, good to see you. Naturally a homebody, but in this economy, I'm going to get my money's worth in this rent. No, facts. Facts. This is funny. I'm not agoraphobic. I'm value maxing. I like that. I like that. Love the show right there. I like that. I like that. You gotta get your money's worth. Get your money's worth. Facts. I'm like, I'm paying the rent in here. I gotta make sure that every room feels my presence. Every room gonna feel me. Every wall gonna feel me. I had an old apartment. I slept in both rooms. I just enjoy the whole place. No, that's what I'll do. I'll sleep in every room. I'll sleep in the living room. I'll take full advantage. On the porch with your coffee and your robe. Right. Like the older folks used to do it. Back in the day, I would see the older folks on the porch, smoking or drinking coffee in their robe. And I'm like, man, these people are they're so slow. They're not fun. Now that I'm older myself, I'm like, man, ain't nothing nicer than being on the front porch and enjoying life. Give me a nice little robe, one of those comfortable robes that you can just like free ball in and just be out there and just say hey to the neighbors, and be on neighborhood watch. Make sure that nobody's doing anything suspicious in the neighborhood. Life done hit me now. Life done hit me now. So is it the leasing office coffee? Facts. Go into your leasing office every now and then. Go grab the free coffee. Get your money's worth. Go grab the free coffee. Big facts. Go grab the free coffee. You earned it. You earned it. Make sure you get your full money's worth. Y'all are funny. Y'all have been hilarious tonight. Oh my goodness. Y'all are funny. That's hilarious. Man. And I'm happy I'm covering this topic. It came from a video that I stitched today, where I was talking about agoraphobia and neurodivergence, and I was like, I don't think we've talked about this. And right now, it's a very timely topic because a lot of us are spending a lot of time at home, a lot of time at home. Yeah. A lot of us spend a lot of time at home. People aren't even dating like they used to. I think I saw somewhere said the average cost of a date is like $200 something, which blew my mind. I'm like, I don't even spend that much money on a date. $200, but it's become expensive to do everything. So people then stop dating. People stop leaving the house. People are just at home. So I think we're spending more time at home now. It's getting the COVID levels. And COVID did throw us off, but it's getting the COVID levels, how isolated we are and how much we're at home. So yeah, I'm like, this is a very timely topic. A very timely topic. Des said, I spent $100 on a solo date. Okay, I mean, okay. In that case, if you spend $100 on a solo date, then $200 on a joint date, I guess. I just think that we should keep our investment low. We should, until you know that you like the person. Like once y'all are really rocking, then you can break the bank. But until then, like gas is saying, like Sam is saying, gas is $7. Gas is $7. So it's like, hey, I gotta like you before I drive 15 minutes. Because gas is $7. Gas is $7. And I'm like Haley as well. I talk to strangers all the time. I love talking to strangers. You never know who you'll meet. You never know who you'll meet. And I don't know why folks stop going to Chili's, like the 2 for $20s. Or even better, you can go to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4. Like, I don't know what happened. Like why dating became so expensive. Like it's not, I breaking the bank for you and your kids, Alexis. Like I get that. But for like a guy that you just met, normally it'd be the guy who does it for you. But like give me a faux for faux, or like Sean says, a hike or Netflix and chill. The issue with the Netflix and chill is that, for me, I don't cut on Netflix. It's just straight chilling. It's just straight chilling. Ain't no Netflix. It's just straight chilling. Netflix is a trick. I'm like, all right, we'll cut on Netflix, so that we can get to the chilling part. And a meet and greet will be great. We have one after the show at the comedy show. We'll have one in Chicago, but if you mean like a whole separate one, I think that'd be cool too. Would be cool too. Alexa says no to Netflix and chill. Cool. Okay. Cool. Oh, smoking pass. Oh, that could be better too. Smoking pass out just like Netflix and chill. Just like it. So I am on board with you. Yeah, but I just, hey girl, what Netflix show do you want? Right, exactly. Right. What background noise Netflix show do you want us to pick? Because I'm not gonna be paying attention. Like the worst thing you could do with Netflix and chill is to pick an interesting movie. Look, because I've made that mistake before. I've done it. Netflix and chill, and I pick a movie that's interesting, and then I'm trying to like touch on her leg or like make a movie. She's like, "Stop! I want to watch it. I'm like, no! I didn't mean to pick this thing. Why are you watching the whole thing?" I'm like, no, I didn't want to do this. And then when I start to pay attention to it, I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Okay, all right. I see why you're intrigued, but still, like, don't move my hand. Like, be the last time I pick something that's interesting. You have to actually Google and figure out what's the most boring thing on Netflix, and then you go with that. The most boring thing on Netflix. The show From is pretty good. The show From is pretty good. So, The Office. Yeah, The Office is probably the best show you can have. The Office. Yep, I like The Office because people have seen The Office. And if it's a rerun to you, then you're not actively paying attention. Yeah, nothing worse than Netflix and chilling, and you actually finish the movie. It's like, oh man. Yeah, I don't put on comedy specials during Netflix and chill because you'd be laughing too much. Like there's a whole art to Netflix and chilling. I think I mastered it at this time through trial and error. I think I mastered it because the goal is to get to the chilling part. You don't want to get stuck up on the Netflix. And all the women that I date are also neurodivergent too, so they have short attention spans like me. So, like, anything is going to distract you. So we got to be very careful with what we watch. Turn on sports, always better than Netflix and chill. Okay, I like that. But I mean, sports is what I watch all the time, so I try and we'll watch something that the lady wants to watch too. But you'll never go wrong with sports. Shauna says, play cards. Loser takes off a layer of clothes. Used to love those date nights. Okay. All right now. Okay. Play cards. Loser takes off a layer of clothes. Okay, I gotta learn how to play cards then. Now I'm weak. YouTube Premium and okay. Because look, in this economy, I don't think we need to be paying for Netflix and YouTube Premium and all these different subscriptions. You pick one. No sports. That can go wrong. I wouldn't be distracted by the sports. Alexa says, my OCD says we finished the movie. Ugh. No. A TikTok scroll date. Yeah, that works too. Finishing a movie during Netflix and chill. Oh my goodness. Oh my, it's happened to me. It's funny. It's funny. Oh, that's funny. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Okay, that'll work. I think I've seen a couple episodes of that. Play headlights, and every time I'm missing headlights out, he smacked the roof of the car, and whoever takes. Yeah, I guess, but this game is a bit too complicated for me. Like I have a simple mind. Play head. We'll just play cards. We'll just play cards. Whoever loser takes off a layer of clothes with cards. Play anything. But if the game is too complicated, I'm like, oh, this is too complex. It gets harder after the kids. Oh, luckily I ain't got no kids right now that I know. Oh man, great live stream, guys. We're getting to the end here. We'll be back Thursday. Ooh, y'all heard that? Oof, my back cracking. We'll be back Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't have any traveling for a while. Thank goodness. That's awesome. Awesome. So the next time that I do have to travel will be, I think, for Nashville. Okay. For Nashville. Awesome. Netflix and lay together and talk. Yeah, talk, huh? I like that. It sounds like jail time. Undressing in the car. Excellent bond for a first date. What if both y'all get locked up for indecent exposure? Who's going to bond you out? You have to be creative with kids. Yeah, that's the thing with people who have kids. Yeah, because the kids have to be somewhere else when adults are doing what adults do. No problem. These live streams are cool because you can use it to help get you through a hard day, or you can use it to help you be more productive. I tell people all the time that when I'm live streaming, that's a great time to get the dishes done, the laundry. When I'm watching live streams or podcasts, that's what I'm doing. I'm catching up with something, so that way I can kill two birds with one stone. I like being efficient. But yeah, so that is tonight's live stream. We will be back again Thursday, 9 o'clock East Coast time, 6 o'clock West Coast time. So 9 o'clock New York time, 8 o'clock Nashville time, 7 o'clock Phoenix, Arizona time, 6 o'clock Seattle, Washington time, 5 o'clock Alaska time, 4 p.m. Hawaii time, 2 a.m. United Kingdom time. So for my boys and girls like Patrick who are in the UK, it's going to be 2 a.m. And I've been talking about doing a morning stream so that way my people in Australia and UK can get a late night live stream. So at some point, I would love to add a morning stream. That'd be a nice little switch up. But yeah, until the next time, 7 p.m. Central. Until next time, I want to mention that our comedy show is going to be May 31st, Nashville, Tennessee. For ticket information, hit the link in the bio. June 11th, New York City. June 18th, Chicago, Illinois. September 17th, Phoenix, Arizona. 2 dates at the end of July, Springfield, Massachusetts, and Boston, Massachusetts. And then we have San Diego, December 3rd. So thank y'all. I will see y'all on Thursday. Until then, y'all get some rest. Take it easy. And hopefully y'all can get some good shucking tonight. Love y'all. Peace.